So good morning, one and all. Today we're going to start solid waste pollution and management. And after completing the water pollution in detail and air pollution in detail, we are going to touch or we're going to cover a very important aspect as far as India is concerned, that is solid waste management. So before actually going into the detail of what is solid waste generation aspect, all the associated properties related to the solid waste and their management practices, let me first briefly introduce you what is this problem is all about. Okay, talking from local issue to global issue to international issue. So this is one of the major problem as far as India is concerned. And if you want to really see the problem, what is the height of the problem, what is the depth of the problem, okay, then you can really see, or you can or always tell other students also, if you enter Delhi, if you enter Delhi, you see the huge mountain of solid waste once you enter Delhi, and see if a country capital is greeting you with this kind of a scene when the huge capital Mount Everest of a solid waste is there, we can really judge what is the status of the country. If what status of the country means status in terms of handling a solid waste management. And when you see the developed countries, in very small countries, they have the solid waste management practices in place. In what sense? I'm going to discuss this in detail in coming slides, no doubt, in coming lectures as well. But what I'm telling you, what I was like wondering when I was visiting these countries. So I was wondering, there's no littering on the road. There's no any particular spillage. There's no any solid, no any waste is there. So where actually this, if this is not there, then where actually this waste goes? So I asked somebody over there. So he told me that in our country, in our state, in our city, we have a waste recycling plant. Waste recycling plant. Now, waste recycling plant means everything which you are going to generate it can be recycled back. In what sense? I'm going to discuss with you in the coming slides and coming lectures as well. But that is feasible only when you have a source segregation. When you have a source segregation. When you don't have a source segregation, you will end up you will end up with a problem what I'm discussing with you, that is Mount Everest in Delhi. And I'm sorry to say, like you are in graduation, okay, you have done your school education, now you are in graduation, and till now if I ask anybody, okay, what is the color coding of dustbins, hardly anybody is going to tell me what is the color coding of dustbins. That is green, red, blue, yellow. Green, red, blue, yellow. Then if I'm going to ask anybody, okay, what are the waste which are being actually meant for red? What are the waste actually meant for blue? Because we don't have a source separation over here in India. Whereas when I saw in that country, I went to that country, I visited their country, I saw that even no 4 to 5 year kid knows that if I'm eating a chips and the wrapper which is being left behind, now where I should put it should be in the red, because they give a public awareness initially in school days for handling these kind of issues. And on the green it's being red, what kind of waste goes to green. On red it is being written over there, it's being written over there, it's being written over there. It's not exactly written over there, but it is generally being taught to them in the basic level. And really if you can compare these kind of things, once you are sitting at your home, घर में बैठे हो तो आपके किचन में आपके घर में एक ही डस्टबिन है अगर आप देखोगे. There is only one dustbin. Everything dry, wet, plastic, bottles, everything are going into single that particular kind of waste, this basket. And later in the evening what happens, a municipal vehicle come and it collects the waste from every household and dump it in a single place. Where does it go? It ultimately leads to this kind of thing which I'm discussing with you, Mount Everest of solid waste. And we have a huge problems in this context. और यहाँ पे मैं फिर बताऊँ, जो मैं क्लास में डिस्कस करता हूँ आपके साथ, कि यहाँ पे ये प्रॉब्लम परसिस्ट क्यों करती हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम परसिस्ट ये करती हैं बिकॉज एवरीबॉडी से इट्स नॉट माई जॉब. So I'm electronics engineer. How does it pertain to me? I'm a mechanical engineer. How does it pertain to me? How is an electronics engineer? Sorry, computer engineer. How does it pertain to me? Whereas they have a technologist in place to treat this kind of waste. Okay. So in the I saw there in the evening or the afternoon, the vehicle comes. So that vehicle is supposed to take only one kind of dustbin that is meant for that. Suppose a vehicle is coming, vehicle comes, and it's going to take only green vehicle, green dustbin. So I saw there it is only going to pick a green dustbin, not going to touch red dustbin, because green waste is segregated, so it's being sent to a waste recycling facility, accordingly dead. So when now we progress in this particular topic, I want to show you the actual pictures, because in that country, in Australia, I went to that facility next day to saw what is actually happening. So what I saw over there, they are recycling glass, they are recycling plastics, they are recycling aluminium, they are recycling wet waste to compost, everything. So huge facility over there. So I clicked the actual photographs of that facility. It's a huge facility. Okay, then I'm going to show you slowly as slowly in coming lectures by showing the actual photographs. They are doing that, what they are doing that. The moment you come back to India, it's horrible to see that you are just teaching the students what is solid waste management to the technical persons. Why we are teaching this to technical persons? We want these solutions. We want you should introduce some solutions. अब ये मत बोलना कि हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर से हम क्या करेंगे. बहुत कुछ है जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इसमें कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. विद टाइम आपको बताऊंगा कि मेरे प्रीवियस बैचेस में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर्स ने मेरे लिए स्मार्ट डस्टबिन डिजाइन किया था. फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट्स, they designed a smart dustbin in a first year project when I allocated to them. और the wonderful idea, वो स्मार्ट डस्टबिन क्या था, मोस्टली उन बच्चों ने बोला कि सर मोस्टली हमने देखा कि रोड साइड पे जितने भी डस्टबिन हैं, जैसे वो फुल हो जाते हैं, फुल होने के बाद उसकी ओवरफ्लो होकर लिटरिंग होनी शुरू होती है, और लिटरिंग होनी शुरू होती है तो वहाँ पे वेस्ट गिरता रहता है, या एनिमल्स फीड करने आते हैं तो रोड एक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं. सो व्हाट आर दे डिजाइन, and they really showed me that kind of thing also. So they made a dustbin, and when the dustbin was 75% full, sorry, automatically it is locked. Automatically is locked. लॉक हो गया. जैसे 75% 80% फिल हुआ, it automatically gets locked. और they worked still further. जो मैंने उनको बात की ये चीज, जो उसमें वर्कआउट कर रहे थे हम. Okay, can we put a small chip over here on the lock when it's automatically locks? That chip give a signal, or the signal to a local municipal corporation or councillor or a particular employee which is dealing with to collect with this kind of waste from the industry, the area. Now in that mobile, he will get a beep that this number of dustbin in this area is filled. Now it's your duty to take a vehicle to pick that dustbin. And it was effectively designed, but it's effectively designed. See this kind of thing. See how the technology can play a role, like electronics engineering can play a role in the solid waste management also. Okay. तो सारा दिन आपको ये सर्किट्स ये सब नहीं जोड़ने बैठ के, या ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मशीन्स नहीं बनानी, तो यू कैन डू देम some kind of innovation also, so that it can be benefited to industry, sorry, society also. Okay. So when you Come to the solid waste definition. It is solid material possessing a negative economic value. It's cheaper to discard than use. But ये definition change हो चुकी है बेटा. This definition is more likely for the Indian country, like where we are not want to have a recycling of waste, to segregate the waste. So if we don't want to recycle or segregate the waste, it's a correct definition that is solid material, any solid material which is having a negative economic value. Negative economic value means it is easy to discard than use. Whereas other countries, they have reversed this definition. They have reversed this definition. So they are saying every solid material which we are discarding is having economical value, positive economic value. It's better to reuse than discard it. वही है बेटा, थिंकिंग का फर्क है, टेक्नोलॉजी का फर्क है. ठीक है, सीधी सी बात बताऊं, यहाँ पे वही बातें आती है कि यहाँ पे हम अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्लास में अटेंडेंस नहीं है, क्लास में आना नहीं है, सोते रहना है वहाँ पे. ठीक है, जब क्लास में आना तब सो जाना है. मैकेनिकल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर हो आप, फिर भी आप सोचो कि क्या कर लोगे आप जिसके लिए. कोई अपनी एप्लीकेशंस नहीं है, कोई डिज़ाइन एप्लीकेशंस नहीं है आपके पास, बस एक बीटेक डिग्री मिल जानी है आपको. तो बात वही होती है कि इन दैट कंट्रीज व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, दे आर बेसिकली इनटू द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन स्टेट कि भाई अप्लाई करो सोसाइटी में, हमारे यहाँ पे कंट्रीज में, सो दैट कंट्री गेटिंग बेनिफिटेड. सो अप्लाई द टेक्नोलॉजी. तो वहाँ पे जब टेक्नोलॉजी देखते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, कंप्यूटर्स, मैकेनिकल ने क्या कंसेप्ट अप्लाई कर रहे हैं टू द अपलिफ्टमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी. और यहाँ पे हमारे पास माउंट एवरेस्ट के माउंट एवरेस्ट इकट्ठे हो जा रही है सॉलिड वेस्ट के. फिर मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूंगा किसके लिए, पहले इसको पढ़ लो एक बार. इट इंक्लूड्स दिस एंड डजंट इंक्लूड दिस. Includes garbage, refuse, sludges, all kind of materials from the industrial, commercial and community activities. Okay, and does not include, it doesn't include the dissolved materials in the domestic sewage, the pollutants in the water sources. ये नहीं है ये बट इसमें. Okay, now if you go to read this particular definition, which solid waste, which includes this kind of waste and doesn't include this kind of waste. तो एक और चीज थी जो मैंने हम सर्वे किया था, that you can come to the, when you come to Thapar University, you can always do the survey. You have number of boys hostel and girl hostel in Thapar University. Number of boys and girl hostel in Thapar University. So see the number of hostels come over here, and in the every hostel you have daily 3 meals: breakfast, lunch and dinner. Sorry, breakfast, lunch and dinner. And by default, if you see the data, I have collected data, I have data with me, you can come and see. Suppose your boys hostel is having capacity of 400 students, and they make a lunch, breakfast and dinner for 300 students. But it is not obvious that some of the students, they are not coming for breakfast, some of the students, they are not coming for dinner or lunch. Okay, they're going for outside parties, some are not giving. So even average 300 students are coming. So per day, per hostel, 50 to 100 students are not reporting, but their food is already prepared. And huge food waste is being generated. When I collected data years back, and now the strength is double. When I collected the data uh, years back, it was coming out to be near about 1 ton. Approximately, it was more than that, but I'm reporting less. 1 ton per day. और मैं कम रिपोर्ट कर रहा हूँ बेटा. अभी इसमें सर मैंने फूड वेस्ट इंक्लूड किया, बाकी इंक्लूड नहीं किया. And this food waste, can be effectively converted to compost very easily without doing anything. But we are not producing a 1 gram of compost from this kind of waste. We are, giving this waste to some piggery to feed the pigs. And now the scenario is we have more number of hostels, more strength is there. This data can be more alarming if you really collect that data. Okay? So it can be converted to compost. And we have a huge space in Thapar University to convert it to compost. And compost is not a mass technology to deal with. It's a very effective technology, old technology. Bacteria has to do the work, or when you do the vermicomposting, earthworms have to do the work. Nothing more than that. And the compost which we can produce from the waste actually coming from Thapar University, that not only serve the Thapar, because Thapar में जो भी horticulture department है, that's going to purchase a lot of compost from the market. वो खर्चा बच गया. Apart from this, rest of the compost which we are going to produce can be sold to the market against the revenue. Okay. So मैं वही आपकी बात कर रहा हूँ बेटा, जो मैंने आपको बताया मैंने. ठीक है. So these are the sources of solid waste. You must be knowing what are the sources of solid waste. It can be residential, it can be residential, it can be commercial, institutional. I told you, residential. I told you commercial. Told you institutional. And I'll just discuss with you construction and demolish waste, civil waste, municipal services, treatment site plots. Okay. So these all here till here it's called municipal solid waste (MSW). And when you talk about these two things, these are industrial waste. Treatment plant sites, industrial sites. When you talk about agriculture, a huge agriculture waste is generated because paddy straw is a major concern for a country like India. And no doubt, the last is something of biggest concern, that is biomedical waste, hospital waste. And this is most dangerous. This is most dangerous. Why? Because the hospital waste is hazardous in nature in terms of infectious in nature because of the treatment or infectious treatment going in the hospitals, in the operation theaters. Okay. So इसको हम अलग से डील करेंगे. That's why it's a red. I told you how it is being dealt. So read about the detail of municipal solid waste. What is actually that? It's a domestic waste or household waste generated within a community of services. So MSW generation, it is a function of, as a function of source or residential, whether single or multiple, commercial, it can be expanding, retail companies, restaurants, hotels, then you come institutions, institution में school आ गए, hospital आ गए, hostels आ गए. Okay. Then industry में you have a packaging and administrative waste, but not the process waste, because this process waste is not municipal solid waste. It is industrial waste. I told you ना. See this. जो process waste होता है, it's not a municipal solid waste बेटा. It's a industrial waste that it is being dealt separately. So what are different kind of waste? So what is the purpose of showing over here? You know very well. Okay. क्या है? Paper, plastic, rubber, glass, metal, all these kind of things are different categories of waste. Okay. तो ये दिखाने का पर्पस क्या है बेटा? You know very well. बट जब मैं आपको वो एक्चुअल फोटोग्राफ दिखाऊंगा उस कंट्री की, ऑस्ट्रेलिया की, तब आपको ये स्लाइड याद आएगी कि they are recycling paper because they are so segregating, they are recycling plastic, they are recycling glass, they are recycling metals. So why this we know? And if you really see your dustbin at your home, all these things which I'm discussing over here, the major discards, they are into single dustbin. So if they are single dustbin, they find a common place where they are being dumped, and when they find a common place to be dumped, so it is like a collection of a solid waste, which is ultimately going to become a Mount Everest, as you are seeing in Delhi. So these are the categories of waste. Just go through it very fast. Categories means before actually want to know where this waste should go. Okay, I'm having plastic, I'm having cardboard, I'm having yard waste, I'm having this kitchen waste, I'm having this waste. So you first know about this kind of things, where they should be feed it, where it should be taken care of. So for that you need the following information: different categories of municipal solid waste. So first category is those who are combustible, compostable, and recyclable. And category is newspaper and cardboard. So they can be combusted in the furnace to get the energy. I'll let you know in the coming slides, coming lectures. Okay, there's some kind of waste which is usually being burned to get the energy. So that heat energy is being used to heat the water to get converted to steam, and the steam is used to run a turbine, and accordingly electricity is being produced. Okay, this is called incinerator. This is called incinerator. So incinerator, we are going to feed only those things which can be combusted or high calorific value. Okay, or compostable, they can be compostable, newspaper, yes, and recyclable. Recyclable means they can be recycled again. If some persons are from the Amritsar, there's a biggest recycled paper mill in Amritsar. There's Khanna paper mill in Amritsar, and this Amritsar paper mill, Khanna paper mill, is engaged with रिसाइकलिंग द ओल्ड पेपर. जैसे घर में आपके ओल्ड पेपर होता है ना, न्यूज़पेपर वो बेच देते हो आप, तो दैट पेपर इज बीइंग टेकन बाय these industries for recycling. Okay. Then you have recyclable, compostable, but not compostable. Compostable pet bottles you can't compost. Okay. Pet bottle you can't compost. Then recyclable, that is not combustible, not compostable. You cannot feed aluminium beverage can food container into the furnace. They're going to produce large toxic gases. Okay, just go through it very fast. So these are different categories of municipal waste. You can go through better. If you're in doubt, you can ask later on. But I've explained to you each and everything in this category. Okay. So once we talk about industrial waste, बेटा industrial waste, ठीक है, जो मैं अभी डिस्कस कर चुका हूँ आपके साथ industrial waste. So industrial waste is being dealt separately because it's not like the municipal solid waste because it is mostly hazardous in nature. But some of the industrial waste may be non-hazardous also. So how they are being categorized, being hazardous or non-hazardous? So you have a different kind of properties or characteristics on the basis of which you can define the hazardous or non-hazardous. So, so industrial waste can be hazardous and can be non-hazardous. So these are the properties or characteristics that define a waste to be hazardous or not. So corrosivity, flammability, reactivity, and toxicity. So your waste may contain some component which is corrosive in nature. Your waste may contain, which is produced in the industry, may contain some compounds which are flammable. So if they are flammable, they cannot be handled as such. It is a hazardous, and for handling a hazardous, you need separate rules for regulations for handling these kind of waste. And your industrial waste can contain some of the compounds which can be reactive. So accordingly, they are defined to be hazardous. Similarly, toxic also. So if you have this kind of particular materials or some kind of compounds, chemicals present in the waste, and these are categorized as hazardous in nature. And accordingly, there are four categories when you talk about hazardous waste: chemical, biological, radioactive, and explosive. So chemical, basically talking about which have been released or produced by the chemical industry. Biological, you know very well, biological is a most dangerous waste to be handled. It's being produced by the laboratories handling these kind of this biotechnology industry, handling pathogens, pathogens, microorganisms, organisms. So if they are released, everything is gone. Just like you have seen that coronavirus, it's being released from the small lab in Wuhan, and see the impact what is being created. Okay, nobody know how it is being released. Okay, but see, there are so many laboratories in the world who are handling a deadly microorganisms, and by chance if accidentally they are released or accidentally they are released, see the impact they can create. Okay, then radioactive or explosive. So different categories are there. Okay, so these are the functional elements of solid waste management. Before actually starting these kind of things, ये मैं क्यों करवा रहा हूँ आपको बेटा, ध्यान से देखो इसके बारे में. You have generation, storage, collection, transportation, processing, recovery, and disposal. And then once I discussed with you the example of the foreign country where I visited, which I'm going to show you later on, they are working on each and every aspect of these elements of solid waste management. How they are being generated, what is being generated, and what is their storage criteria, where they are being storage. I told you that storage means different color coding just means. Then once they are done with this kind of functional element, they are now working towards collection. And if you have really seen the collection vehicles, now marvelous, fully designed, covered, no littering, and accordingly it is going to collect only that kind of waste where it's waste for which it is meant. Okay, then how they are being transported. Then once it's transported and they are being taken to processing and recovery plant. I have seen that plant fully. I'm going to show the actual photographs. I'm going to share the actual photographs with you, all of you, with time. Okay, and what's our being left is being disposed of, because it's not possible to recycle each and every bit of the waste being generated. So part of it's being disposed. कहाँ पे dispose करते हैं मैं आपको बताऊंगा बेटा जब हम landfill design करेंगे बेटा. So these are some slides which pertains like going to give you some data regarding the how much is population, how much waste is being generated. If you really see number of states in India and how number of cities, and accordingly they how much waste they are generated. Ton per day, ton per day, ton per day. Okay. And if you see the projected growth, and this is something very alarming because this is an increasing trend. See, if you are not like we are here, like we are like we are here, and see the municipal solid waste generation rate, gram per capita per day. And if you are not devising or incorporating some innovative management techniques here, it is going to take the peak to this particular place within 4 years. See, we were having a technology here also, we were having technology here also, we have technology here also, we were having a technology here also. So where the hell the technology is being implemented? तो बात वही हो रही है कि यहाँ पे भी इंजीनियर निकले हैं, यहाँ भी निकले इंजीनियर्स, यहाँ भी निकले हैं, यहाँ भी निकले हैं, थाउजेंड ऑफ थाउजेंड इंजीनियर्स, बस अपने लिए कोई नहीं बैठा, टेक्नोलॉजीज के लिए कोई नहीं है जो ग्राउंड लेवल इम्प्लीमेंट हो पाए. और हमारे पास माउंट एवरेस्ट वहाँ पे खड़ा होता जा रहा है. आपको पता है वो जो दिल्ली वाला माउंट एवरेस्ट है, मैं उसको माउंट एवरेस्ट ही बोलता हूँ बेटा, दैट बेसिकली सॉलिड वेस्ट का, एंड दैट्स टोटली डम. उसकी डेली मेंटेनेंस पे लाखों रुपए खर्च होते हैं बेटा. ओके, उसकी डेली मेंटेनेंस पे लाखों रुपए खर्च होते हैं फॉर नथिंग. डेली पर्सन्स कैन लेट अस नो बेटर कि अगर उन्होंने देखा नहीं देखा, उन्होंने अगर देखा है तो यही बता सकते हैं उसमें कुछ निकल के बाहर आ रहा है, कुछ भी नहीं, वो डम बढ़ता जा रहा है. हाँ, एक्सीडेंट जरूर हो रहे हैं. क्यों? कुछ नीचे से स्लाइड डाउन कर जाता है और वो पूरा नीचे गिर जाता है पीछे फिर दोबारा से. सो यही बात है बेटा, जब बाहरी कंट्री में जाते हैं हम कहते हैं कि जी नहीं बहुत बढ़िया है. ओके, बट हमारे लिए ये अलार्मिंग ट्रेंड है क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी हम कोई ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी इन प्लेस नहीं कर रहे हैं. अभी भी देखो सोर्स सेग्रीगेशन नहीं है. पंचकुला इट स्टार्टेड few months back, maybe last year. बट आप अपनी कंट्री की बात, स्टेट की बात करते हो तो देख लो बेटा आपके घरों में अभी आज का क्या सीन है. एक ही वेस्ट, एक ही डस्टबिन, सब उसके बीच में ड्राई, वेट एंड प्लास्टिक रैपर्स, ग्लास, कैंस, एवरीथिंग ऑन अ सिंगल डस्टबिन. क्योंकि हम जी ये हमारा काम नहीं है. हम तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर हैं, हम मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर हैं, हम केमिकल इंजीनियर हैं. सो सी दिस. सो दिस इज डाटा एंड प्लीज this data, बाकी जो पढ़ाया मैंने पीछे पढ़ाया ये सब पेपर में आएगा. कि ये जो डाटा है, ये डाटा सिर्फ आपकी नॉलेज के लिए बचे, you see. So see this percentage is compostable, but we are not doing it. If you see, this pertains to which is compostable, but still it is going to a common waste because don't have a source segregation. Okay, because we don't have a source segregation separation, and ultimately हमें पता है ये इतना परसेंट कंपोस्टेबल है. देखो अगर मैं कहूँ ये अगर निकल जाता है बीच में से, ये रिसाइकल हो जाता है, ये रिसाइकल हो जाता, तो बचना कितना था, ये बचना था सिर्फ हमारा. तो ओवरऑल परसेंटेज का बहुत डाउन होता है बेटा उस चीज़ के लिए, है ना. सो सी, दिस इज अ MSW disposal trends in India. See how much percentage, 60%, near about 62% is going for open dumping. And landfilling, I'm going to let you know what is landfilling very soon, don't worry. Okay. Then composting, incineration, other thing. Okay. So these, this is data better, you just go through it very fast. I'm not going to give you that detail. You can go through very fast. So this is something I was discussing with you, yes or not? Delhi dumping site. So I'm discussing the solid waste elements, the collection and transportation, and no doubt it's a major budgetary expenditure for municipal operations. Okay, so a lot of things are required. Just to go through this slide, and I'm not going to discuss these things in detail, but I'm going to tell you this thing. So long-term concession projects for the resource recovery can be waste composting projects and waste to energy projects. Now, government, central government or main government is going for these kind of projects where you can convert waste to energy. So if you have an idea, if you have a beautiful like technology and some innovations where waste composting projects and waste to energy projects are feasible, then you can apply for this kind of projects and you can start innovation hub also for this kind of things also. ये बेटा कुछ एक स्लाइड्स रह गई हैं, आज वाइंड अप कर देंगे इसको, फिर हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसकी डिटेल में जाने वाले हैं, ठीक है. So when you're talking about these kind of options, you need to know about what kind of transformation you must be talking about to handle करना है waste को. So waste can be have three transformation: physical, biological, and chemical. Physical means you can have separation, volume reduction, and size reduction. I'm going to tell you in detail in coming slides, no doubt. When you do the chemical transformation, that means you're going to chemically transform the waste into some other thing. So you can have combustion, because combustion में क्या होता है बेटा? Combustion में you are burning a waste, giving oxygen and fuel, and this combustion is going to produce a lot of heat, and that heat is used in the same chamber to convert water to steam, and the steam is being used to run a turbine, and accordingly electricity can be produced, and accordingly pyrolysis and gasification. This is I'm going to show you in coming slides, no doubt. And a biological transformation, that is again a composting, aerobic and anaerobic. I'm going to show in detail also in coming slides. Okay. So what are the importance of transformations? So if you're going to have a transformation process in place, so it can really improve the efficiency of solid waste management systems. So it can recover reusable and recyclable materials, which just I told you, explained to you, and to recover conversion of products and energy. I have discussed with you in detail. Okay, so this is how the transformation can play a role. Transformation can play a role in this kind of. Okay, so this is the last of slide we can go through. This is a characterization of municipal solid waste. So when you're going for an integrated waste management program, what you need the accurate and reliable data on the waste composition, which I will be discussing in the next lecture. वेस्ट है आपके पास किचन में, है ना? तो आपका वेस्ट पड़ा है, मैं बोलूंगा वेस्ट का करना क्या है। आप ये थोड़ी बोलोगे सर कंपोस्ट कर लो, आप ये बोलोगे इसको बर्न कर दो। नो 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 नो, ऑन व्हाट बेसिस यू आर गोइंग टू टेल कि ये वेस्ट कहाँ पे जाएगा। अभी बताया ना ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में, बताया था मैंने यहाँ पे, ये देखो। तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कौन सी होनी है? केमिकल, कंबशन, पायरोसिस, गैसिफिकेशन। अब मैं आपको पूछूं आपके घर में ये वेस्ट पड़ा है, क्या ये वेस्ट, कैन वी यूज दिस वेस्ट फॉर पायरोसिस और कंबशन? Can we use this waste for composting? On what basis you're going to tell? This is something I'm discussing over here. You need accurate and reliable data, which I will be discussing next lecture. That is a complete characterization of a waste which you are handling. वो एक बार करना है बेटा। क्यों एक बार करना है? बिकॉज मेरा सोर्स सेम है, तो सोर्स से जो वेस्ट उस कैटेगरी का आएगा जो मैं सेग्रीगेट कर रहा हूं, तो मेरे को पता है ये यहाँ पे जाएगा, नॉट एवरी टाइम। ठीक है? So once you have a data, then you have well organized and smooth management operations. Okay, so this is the overall discussion which I wanted to execute with you. So I gave you a basic glimpse, all kind of things, and in the next lecture we are going for a detailed like analysis of this kind of waste. Then in the coming lectures we're going to let you know what are the management practices, incinerator, landfill designing, air composting designing, all kind of thing we're going to do in detail. Okay, so I'm stopping the lecture here.